Hello everyone, I'm Stephen Armstrong and I'm a member of the FWCS Integrated team. I'm so glad you're joining us today in the Integrated Podcast Studio, where we're going to look at a new software that we have that you can use with your students or just you if you're creating lessons for your classroom. And this is a screen recording software and it's called Loom, Loom.com. And you can check it out today. I'm going to show you a resource of how you can use this just using your web browser. And Loom is much like Screencastify or Zoom recording with a few other features that might be of interest to you. You can record videos that are up to 45 minutes long. Now, we never recommend recording a video that long. We always like to stay in that sweet spot of like 2 to 3 minutes, maybe no more than 4 minutes, because you really want to engage your students and not lose track of what they're doing. And you want to keep them interested in the content that you're sharing with them. And then also, it gives you unlimited videos, so you can have as many videos as you want. And then we're going to get into other sessions about how you can record audio with it and a bunch of different tools that it has, how to edit it, but that'll be for another video. But today what we're going to do is we're going to dive in and get you set up with Loom. So the first thing you want to do is go to loom.com/education. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to go to this website and get all the features that I just told you about that are free for educators only. And so what you'll do is scroll down here on the Loom website, and right here where it kind of says Get Started, that's where you want to click on to get started. And then you'll fill out your email address, what district you're with. You're with the best district, Fort Wayne Community Schools, and you'll then verify your account. And it took me about 2 hours from Loom to verify that I was an employee of FWCS. Once you do that process, Loom will send you an email and say, hey, you're all ready to go. And so that's what we're going to do. Once you get set up, come back to this video and start at this point right here. So we're going to go to loom.com. So I'll just type in loom.com. And that's going to take me to their main page. This is different than the loom.com/education page. That's where you go to activate your account. This is where you'll go to start your Loom. And so what you're going to do is click on the sign in up here in the top right. So I'll go ahead and sign in. And after you've verified that account with Loom, you'll have the options, much like you do in Clever or Microsoft if you want to sign up, or Google. So I'm going to click on sign in with Google. And it gives me a list of all the accounts that I have with my different Google domains. I'm going to click on my FWCS account here. Okay, so once you go ahead and you select that record a Loom right in the middle there, it's going to pop up with a box over here. And this is pretty cool. Gives you all the features here over in here. So I'm going to choose, you can see I have my webcam turned on. And then I can choose which webcam I want if you have an external one. If you're a remote teacher and you have one that you're pointing towards the class, you can switch between those two. And then also what microphone you're going to use. You probably want to make sure if you're using a headset for this, that the headset's chosen. I'm going to choose the default one that's in my laptop. And then you can kind of scroll down. These advanced features are turned off in the beginning, but I'm going to turn them on. Adjust for low light. That's always good. It's just going to oversaturate the picture a little bit. This tab here, include audio, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Turn that on. It's okay to have all of those on. And then what I'm going to do up here is I get to choose what I want to record. So when I select on that, I can do screen and camera. So you notice my webcam down there in the bottom. And then also I have the option to do just screen only, which removes my video from the lower area, and then also camera only. So if you wanted to just do the camera, you can do that feature as well. So however you want to do that. Most of the time, I think it's good for you to have your students kind of see you rather than just listen to you. That gives you a good visual, but that's all up to you and your personal teaching tastes. And then down here in the bottom left, you notice when I hover over my picture here, when I see those little 3 dots, I can change the size of the video as well. So I can go full screen, I can make it smaller. So if you have a lot of text on the screen, you may want to change that up a little bit and make it a little smaller. But then when I'm ready to roll, what I do is just go down here to start recording. But at first I want to change this back to screen and camera because I want to record the screen. So I'll go ahead and hit start recording. And then it's going to pop up with this box here. Do I want to record the entire screen? Which you notice in my webcam over here, I have a little bit of my desktop shown, and I really don't want the students to see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Window. This is what I prefer to use. You also have the option of Chrome tab over here, so you can just choose a tab. But I'm going to click on Window, and the reason I'm going to do that is because we're going to look at this video a little bit later when we get into editing, and I want to show you how to edit some of the features in that. So I'm going to go ahead and click Window, and I'll go ahead and hit Share. And we're ready to go. It's going to give me a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then we're ready to go. So I'm going to leave this on the main page here so you can probably see my video. You can see my empty Loom library. I'm going to go up and click on another tab, and we'll just go ahead and do the history of the United States. I was in a 5th grade classroom the other day, and the students were talking to me about different people from the past United States history that they were looking up and doing research projects on. So if this was a remote lesson, you could just give them the example, hey, I want you to pull up a Google search, pull up the history of the United States and maybe who are our founding members. I'll pull up Hamilton. We love Hamilton in our family. I want you to pull up an article on that, and then I want you to write me a quick 2 paragraphs on what you found out about that, just some basic information about that. And so I can kind of look up here. Alexander Hamilton was a founding father of the United States. So that might be something that they write down. But as you're showing them this, you could say, hey, here's an example of that. You could write this down. And then you can keep going and pulling up other tabs if you want to. But for this lesson, we'll be done with our recording. And so we'll go back to our tab that had our loom on it. And I will select down here in the bottom. You'll notice that I have the option to stop. I can pause it, which is cool. You don't have to then edit it later. You can just pause your lesson and then continue it again if you need to go take a break, or if you want to pull up some research on a different part of your computer. It gives you a break in there and you don't have to edit that out later. But I'm going to go ahead and hit stop for this. And it's going to pull up, as I'm stopping, it's going to pull up another tab with our video in it. And just for today's lesson, you'll see that here's my video. I can start pressing play if I want to. A little bit of feedback there. But it kind of guides me through that. We'll get into a lesson later in this series on how to share this video. But for today, that's how you record a Loom from loom.com screencast. And you can share this now with your students, or you can download it to your Schoology page, if I can say that right, and do whatever you want with it. But for today, that's it. That's how you record a Loom. That's how you get signed up to do a Loom. Come back and join us for our next video. I'm Steve. Thanks for joining me.